They told us to wait and see, and now the curve has changed significantly. We don't know what to do. This is something we hear often in our clinics. For many years, ScoliCare has worked with people of all ages to manage scoliosis without surgery, using cutting-edge bracing, scoliosis-specific rehabilitation, and experienced clinical guidance. Hi, I'm Dr. Juan du Plessis from ScoliCare, and in this video, we'll walk you through why doing nothing can actually do harm when it comes to scoliosis, and what early action can do instead. But here's the thing about scoliosis, especially in children. It doesn't always stay small, and it doesn't always wait. You might hear, let's just monitor it, or it's not that bad yet. But behind the scenes, the curve could be changing quietly, and sometimes more quickly than expected. And by the time the changes show up on a scan, or in your child's posture, it could already be harder to treat. That's why doing nothing, or even doing the wrong thing, can carry real risks. What you do early and how well that approach matches your child's needs can influence whether a curve remains stable or continues to progress. Let me tell you about a young boy who came to our clinic, not because his curve had been ignored, but because the treatment he'd started with wasn't getting the desired results. He was just 7 years old, diagnosed with juvenile idiopathic scoliosis. His spine showed a 32-degree thoracic curve and a 27-degree lumbar curve, moderate but significant because of his age. His family took early action, which was important. He had already been fitted with a standard hospital-made brace, a type commonly provided in many settings. They hoped the brace would help provide an improved position for his spine. But when we reviewed his in-brace x-rays, it became clear that the brace was not achieving the level of correction typically sought in early management. There was only a slight reduction in his thoracic curve, about 11 degrees, and his lumbar curve, no measurable change at all. At that point, we had two advantages. First, his family had acted early. He was still growing, and his spine was still flexible. Second, we had the opportunity to move him into a different type of brace, a 3D custom designed overcorrective brace built specifically for his unique curve and posture. This wasn't just a stronger brace, it was a custom one, designed to work in the 3 dimensions and support a corrective posture pattern, guiding the spine's alignment over time. And the results? In-brace x-rays shortly after the fitting showed a substantial reduction in both curves. His thoracic curve dropped to just 13 degrees. That's a 59% improvement in brace. And the lumbar curve almost completely corrected down to 3 degrees in brace. Same child, same diagnosis, but two very different paths. And the only thing that changed was the approach. So what did make the difference? Why did one brace produce a limited correction while the other provided a stronger in-brace improvement for this child? It comes down to how scoliosis behaves and how a brace is designed to work with it. Scoliosis isn't just a side-to-side curve, it's a complex 3-dimensional shift of the spine and the body. If a brace isn't designed to address that full 3-dimensional pattern, if it applies pressure in only one plane, it may help maintain the curve temporarily, but may not provide the same corrective influence. That's why brace design matters. The earlier brace he had been using was a traditional TLSO made from a flat mold with more generalized pressure zones. These braces are often designed primarily for stability, not correction. In contrast, the custom brace we provided wasn't based on a template. It was modeled on a 3D scan of his actual posture, designed to create an overcorrective brace, one that gently guides the spine out of its curve pattern and back towards alignment. This type of brace isn't simply holding the spine, it's supporting repositioning. And when this is done early, when the spine is flexible and the child is still growing, that repositioning may lead to meaningful, lasting change. So it's not just about bracing early, it's about choosing an approach that's appropriate for the curve pattern and the child's growth stage. because the window for making change doesn't stay open forever. Coming up, I'll show you how to recognize whether your child may be in that critical window and what steps you can take to help ensure their management plan is well aligned with their needs. But before we move into the practical steps, if you're finding this information useful, feel free to explore the other videos on our channel. We cover a range of topics that may help you understand scoliosis more clearly. We're here to provide families, patients, and professionals with helpful, research-informed guidance. All right, so what can you do if your child has just been diagnosed, or if you're already using a brace but not sure it's doing enough? Here's how to approach things from here. First, trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, or if you haven't seen the level of change you expected, it's okay to ask more questions or seek another opinion. A fresh perspective can sometimes clarify the situation and help with next steps. Second, find out exactly what type of brace is being used. Is it a generic TLSO made from a flat mold? Or is it a custom 3D designed brace specifically for your child's posture and curve pattern? Understanding this difference can help you evaluate whether the brace aligns with your child's needs. Third, consider pairing bracing with movement-based rehab. Programs such as ScoliBalance are designed to work alongside bracing by helping children develop posture awareness, balance, and core strength in ways that support their brace goals. It's about giving your child tools that they can actively use, not just something they wear. And finally, act early. Every month counts when a child is growing. The earlier the intervention, the more the opportunities for managing the curve while the spine is still flexible and developing. Waiting might feel safer, but scoliosis care is all about timing. So, this isn't just about one brace, one case, or one child. It's about understanding that scoliosis doesn't typically resolve on its own, and that early, well-designed intervention can quite literally change the path a spine takes. When families take action early and are equipped with the right information and tools, they often feel more confident and clear about the path ahead, because the earlier we understand what's happening with the spine, the more options we may have for influencing what comes next. If you've made it this far, thank you. We know how overwhelming scoliosis can feel at first, but you're not alone. For 15 years, ScoliCare has worked with people of all ages in managing scoliosis, using custom bracing, scoliosis-specific rehabilitation programs, and qualified clinical guidance. And we'd love to help you too. From all of us at ScoliCare, thank you for watching.